right, everybody, welcome in to the TNVR Rapids postgame show presented by Vodka TV. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, and I am joined, as always, by the superest of super producers, Yahir Vazquez, my guy. How you feeling, baby?
Bro, I'm vibing right now. I got the
Shades
sunglasses
are
on because the
on,
future's
baby.
bright. The
Let's
future's bright,
go.
man. Can't
Let's
even see my own
go.
future.
You got your guy Yaya tonight, man.
Dude, Frazier saw my tweet and he's like, let's get Yaya in there. Let's see
All
what he can do.
everything. Let's go, dude. And of course, to wrap up Juanners week, how else could we wrap up Juanners week without having the man himself, Juanners here? Juanners, my guy. What a game.
Man, that was a fucking roller coaster, bro. That was a roller coaster of emotions. That was a wild one. And I think, there's kind of like a in my soul, it hurts that we didn't win. But it's also like, dude, we fucking needed a fucking point, bro.
Yeah, look.
We've needed results.
Look, I think you said it right there. It's getting the win. Getting the win probably helps. I mean, it keeps the playoffs alive. The point maybe doesn't. But I think more importantly, and shouts to Joseph Samuelson. I'm sure he might be jumping in the comments at some point, but he said, he put it up, they don't get points if they give the first goal up. Like, if they're down, they don't win. They don't draw. This wasn't the win on the road that they needed, but this bucked a lot of trends. And it maybe didn't buck it, but it bucked it for this game. And I don't know how you can't take a lot of positivity out of this result. Yeah. I mean, where are you at? Did this fill up the Yaselina?
Dude,
you brimming, overflowing?
Dude, I am super hyped. It's not a victory. Of course, the victory would have filled me up to the top. But
Sure.
The way this team fought for every single second of the game just has me going, man. It makes me think that I love Trusty. I thought Mac was decent. Makes me think they were the problem.
Trusty?
Makes me think, dude, I love Trusty from last year. Yeah,
Sorry.
I liked him from last
confused.
year. No. I'm just saying I loved him. But it makes me think that their egos and their attitudes were a big issue in the locker room this year. By the way they fought after being down 1-0, 2-0, they fought and came back to tie the game in a game that they could have just dipped and been like, you know what, it's not our night. Let's go back home and try to get some points against Orlando. So I am hyped, man. This team seems to be back to the Rapids way, it feels like.
I mean, there's a lot to like. Obviously, Price was out tonight. Mac traded. Trusty gone. I mean, he wasn't included in the team sheet. I didn't see him in the team photo at the hotel with the Special Olympics Rapids team and a lot of the players. He just doesn't seem to be. He was ready to go. He didn't make the trip, it looks like. And look, there were some concerning things. I mean, this is the third straight game where they gave up a goal in extra time in the first half. And then by the 51st minute, they were down 2-0 on just a lazy, no one got to the ball on a rebound. And I think there was about a 15-minute window there from about the 51st minute to when Rubio scored in the 66th from the penalty where it was full meltdown mode. I was melting down on the game thread on my personal account. Everyone was doom and gloom. This is over. This team blow it all up. like it was over. And then, honestly, I loved the last 30 minutes of this game. And it was awesome to see. It was a fight that I didn't know this team had, Juanners.
Dude, It is it is indicative of this is the first time on the road the teams looked like they did from last year, because this is the type of performance you get on the road from last year. And I will say though that, man, conceding these fucking random goals, man, it's still plaguing us.
Third straight game.
Because I tweeted this out ever since the Portland game when in Thanksgiving when we conceded late to lose in the playoffs, bro. That's been how the Rapids have conducted themselves as a team. And I think that with that sort of kind of mentality going into games of we're just going to concede off a fluke goal, it's the response that matters. And like finally, I know Samuelson says, nah, they actually won games on the road last year, but you know, at least this year they've put a lot more fight in it to actually like scratch and claw and get that result. It's not about result, more so about effort and like grit and determination. And to put it frank, it's about that dog.
Get those dogs out, baby.
They
dogs
finally. This is the most dog in them performance that I've seen on the Rapids.
By a mile. And who had the equalizing goal? The doggiest dog of them all, man. My guy Lalas, dude.
Lalas, man.
Woo!
And here's the thing, dude. Lalas taketh and then he giveth. You know, because I think he was to blame for that first goal.
He was.
Yeah, I'm on that.
But to redeem himself at the end, man, I feel like I really want to say it's a wash, but it's so hard, bro. It's so hard to like not see that mistake could have won us the game. If we go into halftime 0-0, damn.
Yeah.
Dude, like even though I do blame Lalas for that goal, and how I said I do think Lalas has been a really bad performer this year. Like I said, last pod, and I got roasted for that shit. But I will say I will give Lalas like a little bit. No, well, like I said, Lalas I think played a great game, and though he could have been better on that goal, I blame Max for this loss more than I do Lalas. If I'm honest.
No, 2 terrible goals given up, man.
No,
those are way more impactful. Those are way more impactful than Max. Those are way more impactful. People miss shots, man. People miss shots every game.
But not like that wide open in front of the goal. Like nobody. Like,
okay, but then
been a goal. Like
but if you're gonna say that Caldwell missed a sitter in the 94th minute, Utah should have had a win. If that's what you're gonna say.
But we don't cover rail. So like we look at the Rapid side of it.
Sure, that's not what lost the game.
If Max scores that game. That goal, what happens? Real also like has to push a little bit more. Maybe Lalas pressures a little bit more. Maybe Lalas feels that like, hey, we got to protect this lead. Like it changes the mentality of the game a little bit. And even though I thought Max was a little rusty, and I give him that, I'm not like Max, you suck. Like I do think playing time because he's not playing with Rapids too. This means you need to play more. Yeah, it just means that he needs to get back into a rhythm of game. Because it does take a little bit, no matter how much of a professional you are, when you're used to playing almost every game in Brazil, and then you come to the U.S. and you're not playing, not even every other game or every other 2 games, it does affect your fitness. It affects how you think. It affects your decision-making, no matter how good you are. Unless you're maybe like world class.
I don't know, man, because maybe it is rust, but there is some bad first touches. There's some bad decisions that he made.
I also thought he had some pretty nice first touches, though.
I think there was one really bad one where he gave it away,
I know what you're talking about.
No,
I saw your tweet.
It was
right after that.
Wide, bro. It was so wide. But beside that, I do have an issue because like the first half of these games are the same. And I'm gonna say it again. I'm sorry, bro, but Zardes is not it for the team. Okay, he had not 1 but 2 chances in the first half to really score
headers. Yeah.
And it didn't score it. I was like, bro, I've been here before where I say like Zardes, please score that, and then at the end of the first half, the other team scores. It happened in Portland, happened tonight, and I don't want to hear that he had bad service because he had 2 great chances, one from a corner, one from across. And I'm done with Zardes. I've been done, but like
beautiful assist. You got to give him that beautiful assist.
He did get the assist, but I think
beautiful assist to Lalas to tie it up.
I don't know. I think fuck, man. I will give him that. That assist.
It was a
clean,
gorgeous assist.
But I don't think he. I think he lucked into that.
I don't think that's on the line.
Come on,
bro. The way he attacks the ball. When he attacks the ball, bro, he attacks it like this off his shoulder, dude. It wasn't that clean.
It wasn't effective at all.
I also want to say I'm so glad Rubio buried that, bro. That penalty.
Smooth criminal.
Imagine.
Dude, my stomach was in knots when he stepped up, bro, because I was like, please make this.
This is your entire online agenda is at stake with that penalty.
It is. It is.
I want to talk about Rubio. I everything you want from Rubio was on display tonight. He was driving Utah insane. He got McMath to break. Did you see the fit that Ruiz was throwing late?
Yeah, bro. He's being a dog. He was being a fucking
dog,
bro.
I wanted to see him bark at Real Salt Lake's bench really bad when he was like walking up next to them. I just wanted to see him like just go on like bark all the time.
Yeah, he was
like,
great.
Literally bark. Like that's what I wanted.
But beside that, though, I thought like whenever he was on the ball, bro, he was so comfortable.
He was.
He had like great decision making. He knew when to progress the ball, when to drop it off, when to restart attacks, when to recycle the attack, bro. And it kills me that we're at 8 goals, through halfway the season. I think the Rubio productivity has slowed down because he's forced to play the 10 role now and the false 9 role, and it doesn't work, bro. Just give him the 9. Give him the 9. Have Zardes come in as a super sub, and then at that point, I mean, at this point, man,
so bad, dude.
It's the only way. I'm sorry, it's the only way.
We're down so bad.
Because I don't know. I think we sacrificed a lot of Rubio's talent as a 10. So in the midfield, in the midfield, bro, he needs to be the guy.
I do think he's a really talented 10, though. I think he plays that role better than anybody on this team can right now.
Tonight there was no price, right? You just made the Mac move. There were several people on the internet saying that this isn't just a get rid of Mac and it's over window for the Pids. I would say this isn't the formation you're going to see even in 2 weeks, especially if they can peel away a midfielder from somewhere.
I liked it, though. I will say
I really liked it. I really liked it. I liked Nicholson up top. Let's talk about Nicholson, man. Honestly, that was his first game back.
What did I say?
Not his first touch, but his second touch. He drew that foul, just like Juanners said.
Dude,
I think he was really good.
I think he needs some more like playing time, but man, it's so fucking good to see him back, man.
Yeah,
he actually was productive as a winger, which is really nice to see from that right side at least. Because I thought Lewis played great again, but
no, Lewis did play great, dude.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is Lewis is now on 4 back-to-back games of being like a steady, progressive winger, where I don't feel like he's gonna
This has been awesome.
I don't feel like he's gonna dribble into space and then shoot wide, and maybe his shooting's still suspect, but I think he's earned a little leeway at this point now to kind of maybe get at least test the keeper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that finish on 4th of July, I think he's earned some slack, because
Lord
knows I was on his fucking ass about it. I think the only way I give Zardes slack is if he scores 2 goals at least, just to put it in my face, because I think he needs to start catching up to the productivity that I know Porek wanted out of him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Look. This was a game where he had chances, but I think it was a game where the Rapids left a lot on the table. Even without Price, the corners looked great. They looked really dangerous. Hold on. I want to pull up Joseph's comment here. Sorry, while I'm going on this point. But
let's see it.
They really were just the offense was dangerous all night long. Whether it was Nicholson or Barrios, Lewis up that left side.
Rubio, I have the stats right here too. Expected goals, Real Salt Lake was
3.1,
and then 1.33.
Colorado
3.14, which is really good. Total shots was 15-14, kind of even. Big chances was 6-2. That's a big one, man. They big chances for sure.
Our shots were much more threatening than their shots.
Oh, 100%.
Dude,
you actually got scared. You were actually oh, that's going in. And it was just something fluky happened or a great save.
Dude, the first 30 minutes of this team was real good. It was awesome. RSL had 1 or 2 shots that weren't threatening at all. It was going all over, Yarbrough's head. The Rapids were pressing. They were getting corners. They were shooting. I was like, okay, this feels good. And then RSL came. They scored, right? You don't want to see that before the half. And I think we need to start getting the halves to 0-0 because losing right before the half, like losing the first half.
Third straight game.
Losing the first half money line is not good. Not that I ever bet it. You should never bet first half money lines. But like losing that, it's not good, man.
Third straight game against Portland, right? You obviously the infamous CRB injury penalty, Abe fiasco. So you go into break 1-0 after dominating. Then you have Austin where you're winning, and then Drusy just finds a way. Right. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. I mean, being amazing, but he finds a way and ties it at the half. So all of a sudden you were up 2-0 and then it's a draw going into halftime. And then this week where you're dominating again and 4 minutes into stoppage time, you give up just a goal that shouldn't have even been a clean shot attempt.
You can even go all the way to New York.
Keegan dropped off.
At the end of the game.
Wallace didn't step up.
You could also, like I said, go all the way to New York right before the end of the game where they tie it.
That was the 72nd minute though. But the thing is like
it's pretty like at the end, like it's towards the back end of the half. Like even like it just feels like this team is really good. Like I even tweeted this. I put out the stats and it's like this team is really good. It creates and it does what it has to do, but it just has horrible moments where they concede the whole world at that moment. They sloppy. Let anybody in.
They lack discipline. It's sloppy. And outside of Rubio, you brought in Zardes to finish. He's not finishing. You kind of hope to bring in Nicholson to be more productive. But, I think everyone's in a upward trajectory right now.
I agree.
I think Barrios getting that penalty, massive. Barrios coming off the bench is the type of player you need, in that spot to just run at players.
For sure.
Because he's got that dog, but also like I saw so many balls pinged by Rubio right into his stride, right into his path for him to run onto. And sometimes it was offside, timed his run or timed the pass off. But if we have that like attacking threat on the wings, just start shooting. Just start less thinking about what to do and just put a shot on target. Test the keeper.
Sure. If you're looking ahead to Orlando coming in, right? Hope maybe Price is back. I'm not going to assume he's back. It's got to be tough for Frazier, right? You're in the halftime. All your notes are ready to go, right? You've already talked to your assistants. You're waiting for that whistle. It's right before the whistle. You have production from all the guys you need production from, minus the actual scoring, but like the run of play is all yours. All the stats are all yours. And then for the third time in a row, you're in the locker room. Like, it's not on Frazier, I don't think. But how it's got to be so hard to come in and make adjustments and like deliver adjustments, right? When all of a sudden everything changed. Everything changed.
Yeah, because I'm sure you have an idea of what you want to say.
For sure. Hey, you're ready to go.
We're doing this really well, guys. We're doing this really well. Then you get punched in the face. And everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. So,
and I will say too, that first goal, like I do think Lalas could have been better, but I also think that goal was like it was a little fluky. If I'm honest, it was a great shot. Don't get me wrong,
dude.
But like it was like from like what 20 yards away.
Rapids. Yeah. That is like, the story of the Rapids.
But it's like 20 yards away. On like Lalas did the best he could. Like he could have attacked a little bit better, and I do think Lalas could have been better. Like don't get me wrong, but dude, I also think it's kind of like a nice shot. With kind of like URB being a little bit out of position because it was like a really far shot. It wasn't like a hard shot. It was just really well placed.
Like, you could say that about any shot though, bro. Houston, when we lost, on
Dallas.
The URB mistake, the Dallas Golazo right before the half, and I'd even argue the penalty that we conceded in Portland. Yeah. Everything about this team when they concede on the road is all fluke. It's all fluke goals, and that's what sucks because you look at the
XG, man. Like this team is like
for sure.
There is positive regression is coming, and I do think this was a step in the right direction. Right?
I agree.
Like whether or not it comes, like this at least was. We're not sitting here being like 2-0, 3-0 loss. Everything is a disaster. Good thing they traded Mac. Who else are they trading? Like this, there is positive momentum. And guys that have played well continued to play well. Now, granted, we still had that mistake on that, right side of the back line. But, yeah, exactly. Look, Keegan and Abubakar have had this a couple times. We're passing off the wrong guy, not staying with him, not stepping up. It's not the first time it's happened this season. It's not the last time it's going to happen this season. But, look, I just think there's a lot of positives to take out of this. And yes, there's a lot of negatives. It's a bummer to see Max not finish. It's a bummer to see Zardes not finish, but it's awesome to see this team eliminate a 2-0 deficit. Awesome. I think it's way better than any negative we could have said. Way better than anything negative you can come up with. This team
the Yasalina.
So first, before we get any further, let's recap the negatives. Mental lapses, right?
Yes.
Goals before the half, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Not enough finishing. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else that I'm missing?
Nope.
You didn't win the Rocky Mountain. You didn't win the Rocky Mountain Cup.
They weren't winning. I never thought they were going to win. Like I got hyped.
1-0 though, bro. You couldn't get a 1-0.
Okay, let's go 5. They're not winning the Rocky Mountain Cup.
Sure. Now positives. Let's get positive. I want positive. I want Yasalina. The Yasalina.
Fill me with the Yasalina and let's just pour gasoline on me and then put me on fire.
Dwayne got a negative, bro. It's Zardes. And I don't care if you got an 8.0 on whatever the hell kind of app you're looking at, bro.
Oh my God.
6.
Whatever. Keep going. Stop. Go. Positive.
I really
Jesus
think
Christ.
looks bad too. I will
Good
give you that.
Lord.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the positive?
Bro.
Let me my first positive of the whole night. I saw Gavon on the screen.
There you go.
Hands down, that's my first positive.
Okay.
Second down for
Nicholson?
me was Yaya Torre.
Nicholson.
Putting the kid in. Yeah.
My biggest positive
Dogs.
is not only the performance that they did, but it was also the willingness to change, the willingness to adapt and fix a structure of the team. They came out in a 4-3-3 or whatever, but no 5 at the back, dude. It was like, okay, we're trying shit.
I love it.
It's willingness to be like, okay, look at the position that we're in. 5 at the back's not working. 3 at the back, whatever the back it is. Let's try 4 and then get a solid 3 into the 3, right? And I thought it was working really, 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 really well. Up until you got punched in the mouth, of course. But we're not talking about negatives. We're talking about how when this team doesn't have Trusty or K, they can still adapt. And I think you bring in Ralph Prizo, you let him kind of develop and shine and be like Cole Bassett was. If Ralph Prizo is Canadian Bassett, we're fine. We're gonna be fine. Yeah. And not in the sense of goal production, but in the sense of talent and value worth wise, right? Because Cole Bassett was a superstar for us on the most valuable player in terms of money salary wise, right? If Ralph Prizo can be that. And maybe it is a lot of weight on his shoulders, but if Ralph Prizo can do that, we're going to be fine.
All right, we're getting way ahead of ourselves on this Prizo stuff.
No, we're not. No.
I don't mean that it's not getting ahead of us. We need to talk about Prizo, but that's a midweek hour-long pod of what are we getting out of Prizo. Okay. This game we need to keep going on. Rocky Mountain Cup we need to get going on, and I have a gripe about the Rocky Mountain Cup that I will get to right after we talk about the homies at Evoca TV. Got to talk about him. Got to get him in here real quick. I know both of you were watching the game on Evoca TV. Is that right? There it is.
Yes, sir.
Look at it. Boom, boom, boom. Yaya, were you watching it on Evoca TV?
Dude, that's the only way to watch it. The
bang, baby. You got to get on Evoca TV, guys. You got Altitude. You can catch this last season of Altitude broadcast for the Rapids. They also have AT&T Sportsnet. If you're a Rockiesman, like all of us here at DNVR Sports, get your Connor Joe on, maybe get your Gritchick on, huh? It's a whole new way for TV delivery. It's just a receiver, plug it in right into your TV. You can use the DVR, can watch this comeback win or comeback draw again and again and again because there's nothing else on in the middle of the summer. Go ahead and go to evocatv.com/DNVR. Use promo code DNVR. You get $10 off a month for the first 3 months. It's only $15 a month. And you can revolutionize the way you watch TV. Go ahead, sign up. Evoca TV, the homies. Thank you, Evoca. All right, guys. Rocky Mountain Cup. So we drew in Commerce City and then drew in Utah. And it goes to Utah or goes to Real Salt Lake because they won last year. That is the dumbest tiebreaker in a sport full of dumb tiebreakers and dumb rules about away goals and whatever. That is the dumbest rule that has ever existed for a trophy. Ever. Rapid scored 2 on the road. It was a draw otherwise. That should be that should be the cup. The cup should be headed back to Commerce City on Kroenke's private jet right now. Tell me I'm wrong.
Here's the thing. I'm with you 100%, but it's all after the fact, bro. You know what I mean?
No, that's not after the fact. That is a stupid rule.
No one brought this up in the build-up to any of this season, and so
it's a stupid rule.
It is a stupid rule, but the fact that no one bothers to change it is the fact that it went over our heads until the moment we're like, hey, sure, can we get this? It's too late to really change it. But I agree, and that's on
Joseph. Don't bring logic into the comments. I don't care.
It's because they play a different number. And it is really kind of weird, but
it's stupid.
The thing is, they need to have and I could probably get Jason Maxwell in here and be like, can you propose these changes? But what I would propose is for two leg games, you got to go aggregate. And
that's what exactly
aggregate with away goals. Have to.
The third one is
3 legs.
Whatever, yeah.
For 3 legs, it's best of 2. I mean, if you win 5-0 at home but lose 1-0 at both, the other 2 games, you lost the cup. It's over.
Correct.
It's a series.
Correct.
So, but if and that's it's on C10, which is the guys that do the cup, and there's no point in now talking about it because it's.
I think there's a little bit of a point. I just don't think people knew. I bet you most people didn't know that rule before tonight.
And I'm a supporter, bro.
Yeah. I just think it's important to bring up that is the dumbest rule ever. And Salt Lake are fake cup holders, and they suck. And they can
because Matt Pollard said it best. If you win one series in 10 years ago, and for the next 10 years you just draw. Do you really dominate the series? And that's not to say that RSL don't dominate the series because they very obviously do.
Correct.
The head-to-head record is not in our favor, and I'm the first to throw my hands up and say that the Rapids at this point probably don't care. What can we get in a deal? The Rapids at this point don't care about that cup as much as supporters do.
Joseph,
and I
not the time. No free.
First of all, Joseph,
no free
I don't read. I don't know how to read, man. So
yeah.
Besides that, though, I honestly think Dallas is our best rival. Besides ours.
Interesting. Not Kansas City.
I would go with Kansas City. I think.
I love KC, bro.
Or Minnesota, even. Minnesota's kind of late has been good.
I think
Minnesota. There have been some tense games, but our first game was against Dallas. First ever Rapids game was against Dallas.
That's
first ever Cup win was against Dallas, and then in 2013, Oscar Pareja left us for FC Dallas, and then in 2015, FC Dallas ruined the career of Dylan Cerna. So there's enough fire there for me to be like, fuck Dallas, they suck.
And then
we fleeced them. We fleeced them in every deal. So.
Man, that Dallas game today was wild, man.
I
know we talked about it pregame, but
I was thinking
crazy.
I was thinking it was going to be 1-0 RSL because I was like, no way we get 2 wild MLS.
That might be
no
the
way
game
we
of
get
the year,
2
right?
wild MLS
close
games.
To it, even if it was a draw. I mean, come on, a 93rd minute goal, 94th minute goal.
Did you see Philly destroy
DC
United?
That's not fun. That's not game of the year.
It's fun because it cashed my bet in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but look. That dude, 111th minute equalizer by this teenager. That's epic, dude. In the derby at home.
He's not a teenager. His name's Teenage.
His name is Teenage?
Yeah.
No way.
Teenage Hadebe. Yep.
His name is Teenage.
Yeah, Teenage Hadebe.
You're serious?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're both serious?
He's not a teenager. He's 20 something. He's maybe 30
26
something.
or 27 or 8.
No way, dude.
But no, but like real quick.
He's 26.
Yeah, like real quick. If you look at that Houston team, we'll get in more into it. And I tweeted this out.
What a wild thing to learn on there, dude.
And they already got two really good like midfielders and Vera and Coco. Would you take either of them?
Who and who?
Vera and Coco.
For what? For Houston?
From Houston, would you take either of them?
I wouldn't touch anyone on Houston's team, bro.
Dude, I'd take Coco in a heartheartbeat. Have you seen him play? Coco's
when I thought this teenage guy was a teenager, I might have wanted him, but now that I know he's old, I don't care. This is really messing with my brain right now. I can't.
If you're asking me right now who we should sign, it should be Blessing.
Blessing.
I think Blessing.
Blessing.
I am on the Blessing train. I think Blessing. I think you just really need someone to do the dirty work for Blessing, because replace Max with Blessing, and it's a dub. I think this team works real cohesively with Blessing in there. Aside from Blessing, I really can't think of anyone else. Let me look up on
Give me
comparator here.
I don't want Coco. I want Blessing.
I'll take Coco.
Blessing.
I mean, if you can't get Blessing,
I will
that's
get a
like
Blessing
the price
kid
ticket.
if he shows up.
Oh yeah, like that's the price ticket for the Rapids. But I would take Coco in a heartbeat. I think Coco's dope.
I like Brett.
My guy. Shout out
Hassani,
dude.
Hassani Dotson.
Let's go.
100%. We are getting Blessing. We need some miracle, man.
Yo, and throw it out there. We need a blessing.
If Blessing is the blessing that we need to, because I still believe blessings to you all,
Dwayne. My man, downtown Dwayne Brown.
Can you imagine that midfield though with Price, Blessing, and Prisco?
Max.
That'd be a fun. No, I'd take Prisco over Max.
Prisso?
Yeah, Prisso. I always call him Prisco, but Prisso over Matt. I'd take Prisso.
What would that
Blessing.
be? Would that?
I'd play Blessing at the 10, Price at the 8, and then
Blessing, Price, Prizo?
Yeah, PPP.
I'm cool with that.
Or PPB.
I'm cool with it.
PPP.
I mean, B-Ray, you definitely don't trade Mac if you're not in the play for a midfielder. I do think Blessing is the most obvious one, and somehow this season Porig has made like the obvious moves. Like we saw Zardes coming a mile away. It took a few months more than people thought, but it was the obvious one. I mean, Blessing makes the most sense. Who knows though, dude? Porig scouts the entire planet for guys. So like,
I think if you have
it could be some dude from Ecuador we've never heard of. No. To answer Joseph's question, pull up Joseph's question real quick. No, I don't. Joseph, no season is a write-off. Like, it is a continuous cycle.
It's
year
a marathon.
in, year out.
It's a marathon.
Whether or not the playoffs happen this year, you don't just write it off. You still have to develop. You still have to find the system. You can still acquire good players and try and retain them and build around them. You don't do anything because you're not making the playoffs. It's not NFL. It's, you know what I mean? It's not NBA where you try and get as bad as possible if you're not making the playoffs. That's not, you don't do that. Please don't do that, Porig. I know you listen. So please.
And here's the thing also, I'm not riding off a Cinderella run either. I think it's going to take, a miracle. It's going to take a blessing.
Hey, we did say 7 points, right? We said 7 points were needed from these three. There's one. Win buzz at home this week.
I said 9.
You said 9.
Yeah.
I said 7. Yeah, I said 7, I think. Maybe 7.
Yeah, you guys said 7.
I just chilled and said whatever you guys think. I agree.
Love it. Yaya's the best, man.
So here's not only the RSL run started in July, but so too did the Seattle Sounders 2016 victory. So too did the Vancouver Whitecaps run last year. There's always room.
Honestly, that's kind of when the Rapids run started last year.
Well, no.
That Vancouver one is the one I look at too. That Vancouver one's the one that gives me hope.
The Rapids were good for a long time, and then
they
hit
were
a
good,
wall.
But they made
a wall.
Yeah, they made moves.
They hit a wall right before the playoffs, and not enough people talk about how we were off for a month before the Thanksgiving game, and then we came back rusty. And so, if you have a team that's building momentum, if we have a solid rest of July, get some wins here and there in August. September is the crazy month where anything can happen, and it only works if we get blessing. I think. Otherwise,
pull up Dwayne. Pull up my guy Dwayne. You're right, Juanners. But look, if assuming the playoffs are over, and I don't think that it's I'm not saying that you write off the season, and I don't think the playoffs are likely. I don't think it's impossible to make, especially in the MLS, man. You can get 9 points in a week, 7 points in a week, in the span of a week. Your fortunes change quickly. That being said, What makes the rest of the season a success? Max gets minutes. Yappy gets minutes. Yaya gets minutes. You find that midfield piece. Priso gets minutes. Nicholson gets fully ingratiated. Maybe you do test the waters on Barrios or Lewis and see if someone wants to give you anything for that. Probably not Barrios because he's on an expiring, but like see if your pieces are worth something before the window's up.
What do you think, Juanners? What would make the season a success for you if they don't make the playoffs?
Rubio 10 goals, so I can put in everyone's faces that I called that.
My
honestly,
Yeah.
But because I said confidently,
win on the road.
A win on the road. No, that's an expectation, man. You have to win on the road.
No, I know.
At least one.
It just hasn't happened yet. So the rest of the season, that's something that would really help me call the rest of the season a success if they win on the road.
It's definitely tough, but like, if we could get around, yeah, it depends. I think more of like off the field stuff might be something worth going into, like growing C38. But that's like, that's on us. That's on us as supporters. Like,
yeah.
As far as the team goes, I really don't
play
know,
competitive games in September. Even if you're not in the playoffs, if you're 6 points or 5 points out, and like games matter, and like you can't control the rest of the standings, you can control your own results, right? Like that is at the end of the day, you can control your own results. So if you are within striking distance and you're playing meaningful games and you're showing up, you're getting your home wins, earning draws, maybe some wins on the road, maybe. I mean, unlikely, obviously, but like to me, it's are you being competitive, and are the young guys that you've committed money and resources to getting developmental time?
And for me, it's kind of piggybacking off what Mitch said. For me, a success would be like if you don't make the playoffs, get knocked out on decision day. That's the day that you for sure don't make it. That for me is a success. And also maybe getting rid of Barrios and getting something for him. I love Barrios, but he's on an expiring deal.
Nah, you're not going to get anything
Mikey.
for him,
No,
bro.
You're not. I know you're not, but like if you can put somebody out there
age,
for even like 50,
you could maybe swap expirings with somebody.
Yeah,
maybe there's someone who needs a change of pace just like he does.
I think anything, because now you got Nicholson in there, and I think you
Nicholson
got to make time for like, because my thing like how Mitch says, develop the kids. You need to make time for the kids. That's what I would do.
The only reason Nicholson works right now is because you have competition for that role. The minute someone feels like they have that role and becomes stagnant, that you don't get that fight for them. But
also, who's gonna go ahead? Sorry.
Despite that, I don't think you get anything for Barrios. In fact, I think they renew him, bro. I think he's
I hope he's a piece next year. He's dope, man.
I think he's much more. I think he's much more than the pitch stuff. He's a locker room guy, dude.
He's a guy. Him and Lucas both have that same edge to him that I think people really respect.
And I do believe that, but I think Barrios next year is going to want to go to a contender, to somebody that's actually.
What if I haven't seen anything of that from him?
I haven't either. And I think Barrios is not a bad dude, and I think he's a great locker room guy. But he's getting up there in age. But like he's going to want to compete even off the bench.
No, dude, no. Because here's the thing. Because with Mac, bro, everyone knew that he didn't want to be here. Barrios wants to be here. There's no indication that he never wanted to be here, bro. And I think the fact that we did rejuvenate his career, says a lot, because when he left Dallas, bro, he didn't want to leave Dallas. He is like, he wants to fight for whatever badge is on his chest, bro. That's just the type of player he is.
This is something I've always said about Denver sports specifically, and this is where Barrios fits in. Is you play at altitude. You need to make teams earn those hard-earned goals. Like, run them into the ground. And Barrios has done that all season. Even if it's 30 minutes, if it's a start, whatever, he just wears down that left back the entire time he's on the field. Colorado teams, whether it's football, basketball, don't care. Whether it's the Rapids, you need to wear guys out because no one is ready to come play there. Whether they think they are or not, if you wear down guys like Barrios does, he needs to be here next year. In my opinion, needs to be.
Who's Travis?
Travis Jackson, the homegrown that signed this year, early in the year.
Well, I did see that Barrios liked that announcement.
Yeah.
But I agree with Merchel. I think Barrios is the locker room guy.
Yeah.
I think so too. Like, that has nothing to do with Barrios. And the thing is, like, my thing with Barrios is, like, I have no doubt that he loves being a Rapid at all.
Joseph, I think the other players are too professional. That's why they didn't like it.
No, and the thing is, like, I also do think that like Barrios is that piece. Barrios is that guy. But I can also see a world with Porrick is gonna say, "Hey, you know what? We don't need you next year because they only signed him for a year, and he hasn't produced the way that maybe Porrick was expecting." And I can see him being okay. Like, I understand that. Let me go to a contender and try to win. Not because he doesn't like the Rapids, not because that's not where the place he wants to be, but
He'll
because
get paid
maybe
more here
Porrick,
than anywhere else.
that's probably true. But like, if Porrick doesn't want to pay him, that's also the thing. Because again, he's only on a year. They could have extended him a couple of years after the great performance he had last year, and they gave him a prove it deal, and they're like, "Here's 1 year. Let's
They have an
see what
option.
you can do."
They have an
They
option.
do have no, and I believe that. But like, he underperformed. Do they cancel that option and try to give him a longer contract for like
No,
less amount
not
of
Why
after
money?
he
wouldn't you?
goes
Why
to
wouldn't you take it though? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't
why
you
would
take the
you
option?
not
You
lock
wouldn't
him in?
take it. You wouldn't take it for the reason that maybe you
This
bring
is a
other players.
crazy take. Not crazy,
It's
but I
not-
just
no.
did not see this coming.
No,
Where's
the
this
thing is,
coming
I
from?
love Barrios. Like the thing is, I'm a Barrios guy. I thought he was last year's MVP over Price.
Sure.
I really do believe that. Like
Sure.
the thing is, like I
No,
can see Porrick
Price is
looking
the
at this
MVP,
year.
bro.
No, yeah, again, that I'm saying, like, I'm just a Barrios guy. I thought he was
He's
the
a
guy
Mikey
that
D
pushed.
guy, dude.
See,
Got
like,
that down.
no matter what I say, I lose in this right now. I thought he,
I just
like, I'm
don't
not
know.
saying-
I don't know where this is coming from.
Dude, the thing
Yeah,
is, all
why
I'm
would
saying
he
is, like,
This is like
the
an
thing
impassioned
I'm
take.
saying- well, the thing I'm saying is, I can see Porrick looking at next year and saying, I don't think you're going to fit in this team for what I'm trying to do.
Who is then?
Porrick.
This is crazy.
I don't know. That's
This
the
is
thing.
crazy.
I don't know who.
If
Maybe
you
he
don't
brings
have-
other players.
If you
Max,
don't have a
maybe
DP
Max,
wing,
maybe-
Well, look. I mean, if
No.
Yaya, if
Max
they
is gonna
think
play
Yaya's
left.
ready, no, okay, Yaya, I'm gonna.
I'm thinking of like Max. Maybe Blessings plays out and they bring in a
Yo,
DP
Yaya,
defense.
I'm with
That's
you on
what
this,
I'm
bro.
looking at.
Give Yaya all the minutes on that wing.
no.
Just kidding. He
No,
plays
I
on
don't,
left anyways.
dude. The thing I like.
I don't agree with this take. This take's awful. Keep Barrios.
No, I don't
Here's
think
the
it's
thing,
awful,
bro.
But this is the thing I'm saying. Get something for Barrios that you think he's not part of next year. Damn it, dude! Like this way went farther than it had to.
Bro,
Instead of, like, this
you
is
have
what I
no
think-
Yaselina for Barrios, is what you just revealed
This is
right
what I'm
now.
saying. I love Barrios, dude. I'm all
Get
in on
out of
Barrios.
here.
I'm being put like in Porrick's shoes. I'm like, I can see Porrick looking at this team and saying, you know what? I don't think Barrios is going to be part of next year's team. Let's see what we can get for him on the market. That's
Mhm.
what I look at. He's like,
Fair.
who's looking for a wily
Fair,
veteran
fair,
that
fair,
can push
fair,
this team
fair,
forward?
fair.
And
Look,
this
hey.
is what I'm saying. Like, I love Barrios. I'm a Barrios guy. Barrio me up, dude. Like,
Here's
I'm all
what-
about the hood.
Oh
Like,
my God,
and
Barrios
Juanners
me
get
up.
that.
Okay,
Barrio
look,
me up.
look,
I'm about the hood.
Look. I don't think we can say anything about this. Like, I think there's the obvious pieces, but saying like, oh yeah, we need to lock in Barrios or we don't. There is a few weeks left of this window, and there's a few weeks left of this window, and they're going to be active. Pork's going to bring in a midfielder. That doesn't mean that's the only player that's going to come in
Blessings.
or leave, right? Like, obviously, Blessing's going to be a Rapid. We all know this. Many people are saying this. But like saying Barrios is back or not, like, well, here's what's going to happen, right? So I'm driving to Arizona on Wednesday. Well, driving to Durango Wednesday, Arizona on Thursday. There's going to be a huge move while I'm in the middle of the effing desert, and I'm going to have to find some internet in some podunk ass town and jump on an emergency pod in the corner of a restaurant or something. And I just know that's what's going to happen, but maybe it's Blessing, maybe it's whoever. Okay, I just want to talk Wednesday real quick, this Orlando game, because we're going long for a post game. This is tight off of like a weird game. God, weird game.
Not a weird game, a great game.
It was a great
Vibe.
game, but man, roller
This is what
coaster of
the
emotions.
vibes are supposed to be.
Wednesday, Orlando. One of those teams that just seems plucky, not great, but like this.
No,
feels
Orlando
like
sucks, bro.
this seems like the worst possible team to face, just because
No.
Pid's Pid. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean.
No, bro. Have you seen Orlando, man?
They're defensively sound.
As the Orlando better, and like, you know, watching Orlando games, they're not good, bro, against high quality XG teams like the Rapids. Okay. And they're
High
missing
quality, the highest quality.
the thing is, we have high quality chances that we don't finish.
I know.
So if we
It's
just
the
produce
most
enough high
frustrating
quality
shit
chances, we're gonna
ever.
win. But listen, Orlando are still missing some key pieces in their attack. They won tonight on an own goal, bro. They do not have anything going for them in the attack. Their midfield sucks. They don't have a solid defender. And I think on the road, they're not that good. And I said that about Austin, but I feel like Orlando is.
Austin's dope.
Or who on Orlando is their Driussi?
There
Who
isn't
on
one.
Orlando?
There
I
isn't
mean,
one.
they don't have that guy. They have a star striker in Erkin Kara, but he's a lot. He's a
Facundo,
lot
maybe
more
that'd be the only
fluky.
one.
Okay.
Facundo doesn't do anything, bro. He doesn't
He
progress.
doesn't,
the ball.
but like
we-
he could be a guy that can like pop off too. Like he's talented enough to pop off.
What do you want to see this lineup look like? What do you want to see in the 11? Do you want to just roll the same 11 again?
Same 11. You can roll the same 11
Exact
if you
same
don't have
11.
Price. If you don't
Yeah.
have Price, if Price is available, get him in
Because
there.
I thought Acosta was
yes,
money
Acosta
tonight.
was good.
This was maybe
Acosta
Acosta's
was
best
also
game of
good.
the season.
I'm glad you say it because I think with midfielders, if you don't recognize their mistakes,
Yeah.
then they had a good game. He's like a dark horse at this point now. His passing is always on point. I mean, he set up 2 great chances for Zardes that he didn't
Sure.
finish. So
If they win, I know I'm on vacation and my wife will call me, but I'm going back to the hotel on Wednesday night and we'll be doing the winners lounge for sure. Like for sure. Do not care.
For me, I want to see the Rapids too play the Rapids one squad.
Oh God,
on Wednesday.
that
I'm
is
playing with
you.
No, I'm playing with you. I'm playing- no,
good could
I'm
happen
playing with
because
you.
of that.
Give me the exact same. Give
Nothing
me the,
good.
do you
give me
just
the
like
exact same
sequels? Is that the thing? You think
Dude, I
sequels
love-
are better than the
Dude,
original?
I think the first game is always. I always think the first movie is the worst until the second one comes out. I'm like,
up again, baby.
Grown
He's
Ups
back.
2. There's what we need. Grown Ups.
I think
2.
Gasolina's in the wrong car. You need to put it right back on the first team, bro.
You're like
Right
that
now-
guy
no,
that doesn't know that his
no.
Tesla doesn't need gas, and you pulled up to the gas station, and you're like, "Where do I put this?"
I put it in the
I asked
timeout.
what we
Just
want to
my-
see on
my lineup.
Wednesday, and Yaya's like, "Let's watch the 2 teams play each other that can't."
That'd be the funnest thing. For me, the starting lineup, I would go all the way around.
Oh my
He didn't
God,
accept starting
bro.
lineup, but I might switch out maybe who was in the midfield today? It was Acosta, Max.
It was the
and
costume,
Rubio, right?
Max and Rubio. Yeah,
I think
I maybe-
Yahir wants Poreg to come out and fire Barrios in front of everyone.
yeah.
Dude,
Earn
I
him
wanted
Based
to go
on what he
execution.
said earlier.
Off
wanted
with
to
his
go-
head.
Dude, what I want I want him to go execution style. Put him in the middle of the
All right, stop.
field.
This is getting
Put a
graphic.
gun. No, wait.
Stop!
Put
Stop!
a gun to
Stop!
his head.
Stop!
Dude,
Stop!
wait, I'm not done. Put a gun to his head, and then when he shoots, it just says you're fired. It
This
does
is a-
no
that's
graphic
insane.
violence. That's what I want. I was like, no, dude, I love Barrios. I'm a Barrios guy. I've always been a Barrios
He's a
guy.
Barrios guy who wants him out of the team as fast
No,
as
I don't want him
possible.
out of the team. But the thing is, dude, I think Barrios is better than Lewis, and Lewis
Look,
keeps starting.
Hold on. Okay, one thing. I want them to start Max again because I
Yeah,
think
he deserves another
think-
run now.
I
Yeah.
think he can do. I mean, look, he was about as productive as Mac ever was today.
I will give you that.
And I
That's
think
pretty
he
good
can play
point.
that role. I think he has the tools to play that role better than Mac did because Mac was being played in a role that probably he's not best at. And I think, and you brought that up on Twitter and on the pod, that they never really found the true Mac role, right? And I think Frazier needs that in his 11, at least in his head, his optimizing his 11. And I think Max really can do that. I just want to see a few more minutes, a few more starts. If you bring in Blessing, obviously you start Blessing over him. But I do think in the interim, until you figure out this midfield and any moves, just please start Max every game, please.
I would start Max, probably bench Zardes, put Rubio at the 9, and if Price is ready, put him in that midfielder role with Price, Acosta, and Max, and see what you can get from that.
Give
That's
me,
what
I don't hate that.
give me Priso, Acosta, Max.
Oh my God, start Priso. Oh my God.
I keep
And
forgetting about
then-
Priso, even though I'm hyped about him.
Dude, he's a star, bro. He can be
He
Bassett.
is a star. You're right.
He can be
like-
Canadian Bassett. But give me Priso, Max, and
Afro Bassett,
Acosta, and then your front 3 of Barrios or Nicholson, Lewis, and Rubio.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys
Real
think
quick,
they
did
get
you
3
guys
points
see-
at home?
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
do. All
Yeah.
the way. I'm all for it.
Chat, do you think that if anyone's left besides Dwayne and B-Ray? I know they both think it's 3.
I also think I also want to shout out Bassett real quick. He all the young players came in for Feyenoord, and he got the captain.
Feyenoord.
Feyenoord. He got the captain armband, by the way, which I thought was pretty cool.
Let's
I was all
go,
for that.
dude. Let's
It's
go.
not a big deal, but I thought it was cool that out of all the young kids, they trusted him with the captain armband. So,
yo, let's go. He actually put a picture up. They're doing their preseason stuff in Switzerland, and him and Sammy Vines met up. Got a picture up on the Instagram. The homies.
If they're not scoring for the Rapids, I don't care what they do abroad.
Fair enough. Bro. Yeah, fuck them.
That's where I'm at, bro.
Yeah, I get that. But I love that they're like
they're not Rapids players anymore. Like I don't know what talks about
on this, by the way.
Gashi's in the second division of Albania. No one talks about him, bro.
No, I don't care about
Nomley's in Netherlands, and no one talks about.
Who's in the second division of Albania? Is that true, or are you just
Shkells and Gashi?
Yeah,
and then not Shkells and Gashi.
Whoa.
He used to play for the Rapids, but Nomley's in Netherlands, and no one talks about him. I wonder why.
Dude, but the only reason I care about Bassett and Vines, those are the only two, is because they're Colorado kids. If they were just other players that left,
they're over there.
No, they're still Colorado kids because they were born and raised here. They're still like
good for them, bro.
I can't believe we're firing up Yaya again.
Bro, I will go to war for Bassett and Vines. I will say this right now.
Why? Dude. They don't go to war for the Rapids anymore, bro.
They did though. And
do you think Feyenoord's gonna purchase? Feyenoord has that purchase option at the end of the loan. You think he's locked in there?
I think he is.
I guess Bassett's still a Rapids player, but he has.
I would love him to come back.
Zardes has more goals than Bassett has this year. Let that soak in.
Yo, let's go.
Bassett's also not playing as much as Zardes, though.
Damn. All right. Looks like everybody in the chat thinks it's 3. Everyone on screen thinks it's 3. Juanners, man. Thank you so much for coming on for Juanners Week. For real. It was fun as hell. Summer break spent with the DNVR crew. Love to see it.
It's our version of Shark Week.
Juanners Week. Juanners, plug away, brother. Plug away.
At Juanners FC on Twitter. At GAM_MLS. We hit on New York City FC -1 Asian spread. So that was a good hit. And then at C38SG for the C38 podcast.
Yeah, plug away, my guy.
You can see my Twitter handle there if you want to see some weird memes every now and then, and some soccer takes, some Stemmer sports takes. Follow DNVR_Rapids on Twitter if you want to follow the game along with Mitchell. He runs the account for the most part, and we're here every post game and once a week. Always follow along, and we like having fun pods like this. We invite guests all the time. You can see Juanners, you can see his co-host Jared, and a plethora of other people from the Rapids.
Yeah, plethora. We're gonna get this week. Definitely, gonna look into Prezo a little bit, but we're talking maybe another 3 or 4 show week after a 4 show week this week with the 2 games. I will be out of town, but like I said, if they get the win on Wednesday, there's no chance I am not jumping on the post game. So guys, thank you so much. Obviously, like and subscribe. Obviously, we need those thumbs up. Definitely helps out a lot. Bring blessing to Colorado. Buy some DNVR merchandise. Follow me on Twitter, Mitch__Carroll. We're going to get that check mark before the end of the season. I'm telling you, it's happening. And more important than all of that, baby.
Is that a success of the season if you get your check mark?
Yes, 100%. Rapids success if I get a check mark on Twitter for sure. More than important than that. Up the pits.
Up the pits.